Why do 100% of the particles in the universe dance to the rhythm of invisible fields? Imagine everything you know, from the tiniest speck of dust to the biggest galaxies, following a secret dance that we can't see, but we can feel everywhere. These fields are like invisible orchestra leaders that decide how every particle acts, no matter where it is in the universe. Without them, there would be no order, no matter, no energy, just a messy void. What if you, me, and everything else were just ripples in a cosmic pond? Imagine the universe is like a huge, calm lake. Every thought, every move, every particle is a tiny wave spreading through this invisible water. We're not separate. We are part of one big, lively whole. Each wave affects the others, and together we create the pattern of the cosmos. Let's dive into quantum fields. Imagine quantum fields like invisible blankets that stretch everywhere, even where you think there's nothing. These fields aren't just empty space, they are the very base of reality. They fill everything, connect everything, and are always moving, even if we don't notice it. Even in what seems like empty space, there's a lot of activity. Particles, like electrons or photons, aren't tiny dots, but small splashes or vibrations in these fields. They appear when the field shakes or wobbles at a certain spot. This means that what we see as solid matter is actually a kind of wave crest that briefly pops out of the field and then disappears again. Everything that exists is therefore a sign of these invisible fields. In a way, we are all part of a cosmic symphony, where each particle is just a musical note. Imagine the universe is playing an endless piece of music, and each particle is a tone that rings through the field. Together, they create the melody of existence, a harmonious interaction that connects and organizes everything. But what makes the difference between light, matter, or even thoughts? It's the different speeds at which the fields vibrate. Every event in the universe, a stone, a tree, a thought, is the result of a very specific vibration. Depending on how fast or slow a field vibrates, different particles, energies, or even states of mind appear. Humans are also a field of vibrations. Our thoughts and feelings send out measurable electromagnetic waves that can connect with our surroundings. There are signs that our thoughts and inner attitude affect reality, like a musician inspiring a whole orchestra with their tune. Love plays a big part in this. It's one of the strongest and most harmonious vibrations we can create. Love connects, heals, and brings order to the field. Our way of thinking, our feelings, and our intentions are like pushes that shape and affect the invisible fabric of the universe. Maybe we are much more powerful than we think, and with our thoughts and our love, we can shape the world around us. Physicists say these fields didn't start. They've always been there, the background music of the universe. They're like an endless sound tapestry that never goes quiet. Even when the universe was born, the fields were already there, setting the stage for everything we see today. They are the invisible backbone that holds everything together. Some theories, like string theory, point to even deeper layers, where everything is made of tiny vibrating strings. These strings are even smaller than particles and vibrate in many dimensions. Their vibrations decide what particles and forces appear. Maybe the universe isn't just one field, but a whole orchestra of strings vibrating in unimaginable patterns. So next time you look into empty space, remember it's buzzing with quantum energy that connects everything like an invisible, endless Wi-Fi for the universe. Everywhere you look, these fields are active, sending out information, energy, and even the chance for new particles to appear. Empty space isn't empty at all, but full of possibilities and connections. But how do the particles of the quantum field connect and join together? Imagine two waves in a pond meeting. They can overlap, get bigger, or even form new patterns. In the same way, the vibrations of the quantum field can dance together and join to form new particles. For example, if two light particles, that is photons, with extremely high energy crash into each other, they can turn into matter like an electron and a positron. It's like a solid object suddenly appears out of pure sound. On the other hand, matter can also break down back into light, like an ice cube turning into water and then steam. Everything starts with vibration. If a field vibrates in a certain way, light is created. If the vibration gets even stronger, light can turn into matter. The universe is therefore like a giant concert where sound becomes light and light becomes matter, and everything is connected. What do you think? It's crazy, right? The idea that we are all part of an invisible, vibrating network that goes through the whole universe is truly amazing. Maybe we are all much more connected than we ever imagined. But what's amazing is that a lot of this knowledge isn't new at all. Thousands of years ago, shamans, the Vedas, Taoism, the Mayans, and the Aztecs already talked about an invisible network that connects everything, a universal energy that flows through everything. They described life as a play of vibrations, frequencies, and echoes, similar to how modern quantum physics does. While quantum science explores the invisible fabric of the universe with math models and experiments, our ancestors experienced this knowledge by feeling it and passed it down in myths, symbols, and rituals. The similarities are amazing. Whether it's quantum field, or chi, prana, ether, or life force, everywhere it's about the invisible connection and the power of vibration. Maybe it's time to bring together ancient spiritual knowledge and modern science, because both show us we are part of a big living field, and our awareness, our intention, and our love can affect this field. But how do our thoughts really affect this field? Positive thoughts are like bright, harmonious waves that create new possibilities and connections. They help creativity, health, and joy, and can even inspire others. Especially real heartfelt laughter, which doesn't harm anyone, is one of the purest forms of positive vibration. It brings light to the field and allows new things to grow. Negative thoughts, on the other hand, act like disturbances in the field. They can block, separate, and even stop good things from happening. Often, these negative thoughts come from not knowing enough or from judging others. People who don't know enough often affect the field negatively without realizing it, simply because they don't fully understand. That's why it's important not to judge or be biased if we don't have 100% knowledge about something. Only then can we avoid polluting the field with negative impulses. But how can we learn to control our thoughts and emotions on purpose? This is where discipline and mental training come in, just like samurais, Shaolin monks, or Tai Chi masters have practiced for centuries. They show us that the ability to control your own mind isn't something you're born with, but something you get from practice, patience, and being mindful. Anyone can learn it. The journey starts with small steps. Watch your thoughts, figure out what sets you off, and practice not reacting right away. In Tai Chi, they say, 90% of the training happens in your head. It's about recognizing your own patterns and changing them on purpose. If something bothers you, it's an invitation to explore and change what triggers you, so you can live in peace and happiness. With regular training, meditation, mindful breathing, and looking inward, it will get easier and easier to control your own thoughts and feelings. This way, you can not only make your own field harmonious, but also positively affect the invisible fabric of the universe, step by step, day by day. It's especially interesting how this way of thinking can also help with healing. Our inner attitude and positive thoughts act like harmonizing pushes in the field of our body. Studies show that an optimistic and loving attitude and trust in your body's own healing abilities can really help the biological processes in the body. Positive thoughts and focused mental alignment activate the immune system, help regeneration, and can even ease pain.